We are live. What's up, folks? So I am now in London town. It has been 5 years since I came to London. The last time when I was here, I didn't have my kids yet. It's nice, you know. I think the weather today is just exceptionally sunny. We got off the plane, I think, quite a number of hours ago. I think we arrived like 5 hours ago. Got our apartment. Quickly moved off to our very first attraction, which is Madame Tussauds. And I've never been to Madame Tussauds. I think it's pretty embarrassing. I didn't know that it was just so nice. I think overall, although you know that these are just the lifelike mannequins, but they are very very well done. And it was nice because I think for the very first time I'm able to share these moments with my eldest daughter, Hannah. And of course, although Haley is still just a year old, she probably doesn't know what's going on. She's probably very tired also from the flight. But it's nice because I also was able to have my mother-in-law and her sister come along with us, and of course my wife. And we were here 5 years ago, and I think we have always enjoyed London, that's for sure. And it's nice because the current, I mean, look, I don't feel that anything is different in terms of when we are here. I think right now it's just more of, okay, let's do it together as a family. So that being said, right now I realize that the crypto markets have recovered quite substantially. Well, not sorry, that's the wrong word to use. The crypto markets didn't recover substantially. What happened was the crypto markets actually recovered back to 200 billion. Okay, so when it recovered back to 200 B, it's still weak, guys. I feel that the market is still just so soft. There's so little that we are very confident to do. Right now, I think the only thing to do is just do dollar cost averaging. Everybody's just thinking whether BUC will help to push up the market or not. I don't know. I think even if BUC does come to this space, obviously it kind of adds additional legitimacy, that at least there are people who are willing to want to invest into the infrastructure that the whole crypto market has been moving. As in the big boys are willing to invest in an exchange, or at least want to create an exchange to cater to the institutional investors or AI or accredited investors. But other than that, I don't know, man. Other than that, I'm not very sure how we'll end. I feel that we're just gonna end the year very very weak. If we even have some kind of a run up, right? I think everybody will just start taking profit. That's for sure. No one is going to really be holding. Like, anyone who kind of makes money now will always be taking profit. They'll just take their 5, 10, 15%, 20% if they're lucky, and then go back into USDT or USD Tether, USD or USD Tether, or whatever fiat they came from. I don't think that we're gonna see whatever we saw last year. That's for sure. Okay, I don't anticipate that. It makes no sense for it to be like that. Okay, and China is still behind the scenes. They are working on the blockchain technology, that's for sure. They are clamping down on and they're doing the cleanup, which is the right thing to do. They're cleaning up all the fraudulent activities from whatever China related exchanges. They want to make sure that the ICO projects are able to kind of monitor the money movement, especially in ICO projects. So that's good. Ethereum obviously is trying to figure its way out, and of course we recently saw Vitalik comment that don't expect to see multi-year highs or crazy bull runs. Saying negative stuff like that. For someone who is a creator, he's obviously a creator. He's not someone who is a trader or investor. He is someone who is brilliant, but then again, people who are like his level are smart because they are able to get the money in to invest in his ideas. Now what is left with the people like us? You know, the ones who want to believe that there's something here. What do we do? Do we deserve the 90% losses, 70, 80%, 90% losses because we believe that the overall technology is real? Of course, that's why we want to invest in it. Obviously, there are certain people who became too greedy and over leveraged. They borrowed from the banks, they borrowed from friends and family, and in the end, the market was went down, and it really hammered them, and they got really smashed emotionally. There are people who probably even took their lives. I'm sure it happens in any financial market. Okay, let's not just talk about crypto. Then we have the millennials who are so excited about this space. You know, for once they are able to participate with a few $100. They are able to transfer money borderlessly without any permission. It's a very exciting time. I would say it's still an exciting time. It's just that what kind of real value have we achieved coming to the end of the year? What have we achieved? So I can safely say that right now the infrastructure is really coming up. Okay, obviously the smart contract protocols were way too overhyped. Okay, that I can safely say too overhyped, that we over invested in these projects that have not proven themselves, or there is not enough talent to really go around and work on all these various projects, creating dApps that work. Okay, and we can clearly see that at least the exchanges, especially Huobi, is doing very well. Binance is also doing very well. They are making moves in the industry, trying to obviously secure their market share before the bigger players start coming in. Now, the only question is, how are they going to woo traders or members to their platform? Because once you are having BUC that comes into play, or any kind of old school financial institution that allows fiat to come in, right? Because let's say, for example, you are in your 40s, right? You're more familiar with the traditional financial markets. You're not too familiar with what Binance is. And then you start reading, you realize, oh, this person is operating in Malta, you know, that kind of thing. But people like us, we are cool to use Binance. We are cool to use Huobi, right? And when you start really realizing it, it's okay. Let me give you another example that's a little bit close to home. iPhone and Huawei. Huawei clearly beat iPhone in terms of sales, okay? But no one really knows who Huawei is. Right now, the current phone that I'm using now is the Huawei P20 Pro, okay? And when you start Googling about Huawei, you realize how big a powerhouse they are in the phone manufacturing game, okay? Sure, they are no Apple yet, okay? But mark my words, you give them another 5 years from now, you will see the astronomical growth of what kind of market domination means. And you know, to be in the handphone game it's an expensive game, but they are willing to play that game. And as time goes by, you're gonna see a shift in that dynamic. So same thing. For now, you may see that Huobi doesn't seem to may not be able to maybe no one is familiar with Huobi, right? But in time, as you can see, based on their marketing efforts, you notice that they're opening offices very aggressively in the top tier countries, okay, developed countries. Eventually, right, and they just recently did a very strong acquisition, two acquisitions in fact, one in Japan and the other one in Hong Kong. So they are setting themselves up for something big, right? No one knows. Some are saying that they may plan to IPO, okay? So that's very exciting in itself, but maybe that's something for another three years later or so, right? Why IPO now, right? Because you don't need to IPO if you're really profitable. But sometimes you do need to IPO because you feel that you want to bring in the funding now so that you can further expand your business. So there is a possibility that it could be a faster IPO. Who knows? Maybe it could be an ITO where it allows you to it will allow you to convert your existing Huobi tokens to shares. Look, this space, right, is just so dynamic, it's so new that a lot of things can eventually evolve from it. You see, it could be something like a hybrid of what we are. Well, at least for myself, I'm familiar with shares, right? But sometimes when I ask myself, so what if I own a piece of the company? That means I own shares in the company. Does it mean that I am any less affected by the risk, the downside risk? A company could still go bankrupt and the shares would be worth nothing. Isn't it any different from the current crypto investors that invested in an ICO or invested in an existing listed crypto? What's the difference, right? If a project, say, failed in the next 2 or 3 years, and the token is no longer in demand and suddenly it flatlines on the exchange, yeah, I mean, look, that can happen. It happens all the time in the stock market as well, right? It's so easy to list on the Australian Stock Exchange that companies that are very very young only need to provide 1 year of financial records and have it audited, and if they're willing to pay the price, they list on the AXS. So you're saying that you have 1 year worth of so-called revenue or or at least you kind of claim that you turn a profit and you are willing to pay the listing fee on AXS means that you're really a big shot company? Come on. So this is what I'm just trying to say. It happens in the existing stock market as well. But that being said, I'm really very bullish in the long term, but there is all this short-term volatility that we need to be very careful of. So I think there was a question from Tobias. So he's saying, what do you expect for Quantum's new roadmap? Should be coming out today, confirmed by Quantum Mike. Look, Quantum is a very, very strong smart contract protocol. I am sure that there are other smart contract protocols that are vying for the enterprise space. Okay, now it's more about going down to the grassroots level, making sure that the developers fully understand what kind of features do I have right now as a smart contract platform. From there, I will have to improve on it so that developers can build on it and build dApps that are useful. When the dApps become useful, that's when the adoption kicks in. And it's just a cycle that has to happen. It's an ecosystem that has to be created. Nothing changes, really nothing changes, and at the end of the day it's always good to have a head. So in this case, if you're talking about Quantum, obviously it's Patrick Dye. You have Patrick Dye, you have Jordan Earls. They are still working the ground. John Sienna, they are all assisting their existing projects, right? And just gaining as much experience as possible, networking with and having partnerships. So right now, if you notice, right, don't mind me saying, but do you feel that it has become easier to pick cryptocurrencies right now? Do you feel that it's so much easier? Like right now, I can blatantly tell you what we're investing in. We are putting money into EOS because, well, I guess they're so well funded, you can kind of still bank on them, although they do make mistakes. In fact, quite a lot of mistakes. There are sometimes security issues, okay? Though I'm not a tech person, but this is what I've been reading. There is still Quantum. Quantum is still in the running. You have Binance, you have Huobi. They are so strong in the centralized exchange space. The DEXs, unfortunately, are not doing very, very well because I think it's still too early to say. Then after that, you have projects like MPXS, right? Recently, they just did their beta testing, which is a major one, which is in Ultra Taiwan. We'll be going to Bali in October, so I'll get more news about that, and we'll be live streaming there as well because I'll be speaking at the X Blockchain Summit. Yeah, I think it's a very exciting time for the whole space. And if NPXS really had a very successful stress test and people start to be more receptive to the fact that, hey, me accepting crypto as a merchant, and I'm just happy to accept it as a currency because people have it, and I can still sell my products. I don't have the risk of volatility. That means if I'm going to be accepting $10 from a customer, I will still be able to have a P&L of $10. I mean, still receive $10 as revenue. It doesn't become $8 the next day. I'm happy, more than happy to accept crypto as payment. No one's going to complain. And this is what MPXS is trying to achieve. It's not about it is not about which crypto they are partnering up with, okay? Because every crypto is trying their best to create as much liquidity and awareness. So sometimes partnering up with MPXS kind of gives them that leverage because MPX was so popular at the time when they launched, right? They were at Consensus in New York, and then of course in Singapore they are going to be speaking as well. And yeah, they're look, they are definitely a legit project. Okay, they're doing very well. If you don't even know what MPXS is, it's Pundi X. Go and check them out. Let me know. Some say, okay, so now then I am much net one. Wow, you guys have the okay, look, I'm pronouncing it wrongly. Anyway, so some say the bear market will continue another year. What do you think? You know, bear markets, don't you feel that when we are in a bear market, right, everything is so affordable, right? Don't you think that everything is so affordable? I'm so happy that Huobi is at $1.50. I'm really so happy because it's like I feel that, wow, I can just keep buying and buying and buying and buying, and I don't have that stress because it's fucking only $1.50. I would be pretty stressed if it was $15, $20, right? I'm not saying that high cannot go higher. Just look at the current stock market. If people commented that Apple was expensive when it was $100, they're clearly kicking themselves in the they're clearly really regretting that they didn't get in at $100, right? Because they couldn't see the long term, growth of Apple. They really didn't expect Apple to be that successful. And I recommended Apple to my clients back then when I was banking, and we created a derivative, we call it a equity link structure on Apple at $150, right? She bought into Apple, right? Because I asked her to strike spot, and she got into Apple. At first, she was a little bit unhappy because she wanted to just earn the interest. But now, when she looks back at it, she says, Ryan, that was a very, very good recommendation. And stuff like that happens, right? So we don't always know. And if you're saying whether or not there's going to be a a multi-year bear market, that means the bear market could stretch to next year. Then we just adopt the same strategy that we've always been using. We just make sure that we trade the volatility, accept whatever percentage gains that we have, and then rinse, repeat, and reaccumulate into projects that we strongly believe in. So some say gaming and crypto is only going to work with a second layer scaling solution. Okay, look, I am not in the position to really comment because I'm not a developer, but for games, right? I'm no developer, but from a consumer perspective, from someone who has been in the space quite a while, I realized that you need for games to really work, it has to be fast, right? It has to be fast, and I think people would love to see a game on the blockchain be very dynamic. Now, if it goes to kind of the Minecraft looking graphics, I don't know, man. I mean, there are so many offerings right now from all the top game developers that I don't really know whether I would like to or really want to play a blockchain game. Now, if I was wanting to be very experimental and support the blockchain, the whole blockchain movement, sure, let's play it. I think Decentraland has something going on. Not sure what kind of to what extent are they able to build anything? I really wouldn't know. Okay, and yeah, who knows? Maybe that's going to be something big. Ryan, quantum has been down and down and down. What do you think about this bear market? Okay, I kind of addressed that. Quantum has been down because they're not paying for market makers. Simple as that. They're not investing their money, all right, on market makers. They're investing their time on making sure that their platform is going to work, making sure that they are able to sustain their operational costs, their rental, their travels to create awareness on a grassroots level, paying for workshops and all that. That is where the money should be. If I'm a business, I will not care about my price, although I should, right? I should, because people did invest in your project during the ICO phase. But the problem is it's trying to balance this out, right? So same thing. No one believed in Alibaba at the beginning. Okay, I always want to bring you all back to these big players, these titans that you see now in hindsight. Like, oh wow, yeah, I should have. But look, if you were one of the very first people that saw Alibaba, okay, you wouldn't, because you're just wondering whether this is okay. People are so used to the Western world, right? And who would have thought that a China company, right, would be an e-commerce giant? Okay, who would have thought? So same thing, we are eventually going to find the giants in this space too, but are we going to be willing to stay invested and listen to the right people to kind of fine tune and find those gems, you know? Because a lot will be wiped out. I guarantee you a lot will be wiped out, but the titans will emerge. When? Nobody knows. If anybody can tell you that they can find the fucking titan now, please PM me who this person is. I will personally interview that person, put them on the spot, so that they can, really be accountable to their viewers. Because since they're so confident that this is going to be titan, don't tell me it's a pump and dump, please. If you're in a pump and dump, I don't care, right? If your fucking token just flies in the next few weeks, I don't care. I want to see whether is it still around after 3, 5, 10, 20 years. Is it still around? Did it evolve from this space? Is it still existing? That's a business, all right? So yeah, guys, that's kind of all I have for today. I hope that you enjoyed the stream. It's a bit of a weird timing, but I try to make the effort. I'm still a little bit jet lagged. I'm going to get some rest, and I'll see you in the next stream.